Hello, traders on YouTube and worldwide. It's Mr. Joseph Trades coming at you. Happy to be with you tonight on March the 14th, 2025, for my daily performance summary. I'm going to go through a few things and I'll show you how I did. First of all, this is my TradeZella, which is it's a great journaling tool. If you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it. It's really helped me in many ways, which I can give details in the future. But quite simply, today I had over 3,000 in profit and a win rate of 80%. And it says total trades 20. In reality, I took 7 trades because I do use a trade copier. So, and my day was done relatively early. I believe by about 12:30 or so, I was finished. I was not going to risk any more trades on what we call Capital Preservation Friday. You may know this if you've been trading for a while, or if you're new. Friday can be one of the toughest days of the week because you're mentally and physically fatigued from focusing and working all week. And since this is mainly a game of mental ability and discipline, Friday can be a day where that really slips up on you. And once I got to this profit loss total, I said, why don't we just shut it down? And that's what I did. Let's look at the month so far. See if we can get TradeZella to go to this month. So this is March. March is trending in the right direction. After my rough start from Black Tilt Monday of the 10th, from when my routine was interrupted, I didn't get to meditate, and boy did I pay for it. As a matter of fact, that morning I was telling my son I probably shouldn't trade, and if only I had heeded my own advice. But regardless, as you can see, as the week progressed, we have the trend going in the right direction. This is a trend that I want to be my friend. So let's see what happens on March 17th. Let's keep the positive momentum going. Now we're going to go to some charts, and you can get an idea of my thought process. This morning, when I was doing my multi-time frame analysis, I always start with the 4-hour time frame, and I like to see what happened in the overnight because that'll give me an idea of certain things. Well, one thing that jumped out to me was I noticed that price had hit this level a few times and had hit this level a few times. So it looks like it's sort of a ranging area. And wouldn't you know, that today through this session we did rotate up to buy side liquidity and we wicked into that area. As you can see, the the low of this wick, it sort of gets tested and it sort of holds that level. My hope is that next week we can finally bust through this level and start rotating back up to this moving average and eventually get above the moving average again. And if we can do that, we've got a lot of room to the upside where we could potentially reclaim the highs. And that would be nice because my 401k account's now only about a 200k account, and I would like it to get back up there. That would be a good thing. That also looks like a double bottom, doesn't it? Also a good thing to see. But regardless, let's go to my execution time frame, which is the 5-minute chart. I like to look at price and give it about 15 to 30 minutes to sort of tell me the character of what might happen. I knew there was a big news event at 10 this morning, so I generally don't like to trade before big news events. But this morning, before it was released, I saw the way price was responding at this pivot point indicated by this red line. And it didn't really bust through this sort of bull flag pattern. And so I placed a short trade and was fortunate to get on the right side of it as it went back down and sought some sell side liquidity. It was a nice profit. And then you can see price sort of had some overlapping bodies, a lot of wicks, non-trending, choppy, in between the EMA, in between the VWAP. There's not a lot of separation between the two. They're very close together. I'm not going to trade in this sort of environment. I want to see what happens. Well, price finally started moving up in the range, and ultimately broke out in a couple of bull flags to the upside where it reached that old level I discussed from the 4 hour chart. And from there, it bounced and that's where we are now in the after hours. We've just been sort of languishing along in what looks to be a new range. So as far as my accounts with my prop firms today, I've got some good news. I added some gains to my two PAs with Apex. So one of them now has 393.92 in profit. I've got to get that above 2,600 before I can request a payout. So I'm just going to take it disciplined and steady. That's my whole plan with all of these once they're funded, is just disciplined and steady, and they add up. This one I was excited. It was the first PA I received this year because uh, yeah, I had a bit of a life change, and there was a lot of psychological issues to overcome. But this was in bad drawdown. I've now almost got it to back to where it started, which I'm happy about. Had a good day there, and then you won't see it here, but I passed my funded futures eval. So on Monday I'll have three funded accounts, and again my goal with them is to just keep them and grow them. That's my mantra to myself. Keep them and grow them. I worked really hard to get these things. I've spent invested a fair amount of money to get them. There's no need in getting excited and blowing them once I'm finally reached that step. The next step is to be a consistently profitable trader. So not just seeing myself as, hey, I'm a funded trader, but seeing and believing that I'm a consistently successful and profitable trader for the long term. And that's my whole game plan with these. Once I have about 10 of these, I'm going to group them into maybe groups of 3 or 4 to copy trade. And for each edge I have that I see that I feel comfortable with, I'll copy trade an edge per group. And so really, as you can see, let's go back to TradeZella. Um, you know, it said I had 20 trades. I only had really 7 trades today, and it was one of my best days. Now contrast that to Monday. How many trades did I have? I had 40. Look at that, 64 on Tuesday. Generally, the more trades you have, you're not doing your best. And a lot of people think you need to be in everything all the time, but something that's taken me a while to really realize and believe is that yes, less is more. It's not just a corny saying that you hear people espouse. It is the truth, and I'm finally coming around to that. Um, Not just hitting keys like a monkey anymore, which has not always been the case. So, in summary, this weekend I'm going to reflect on what I did right, what I did wrong. Really pay attention to that because that's where you learn, is from your mistakes. And I don't mind making mistakes as long as I learn from them and don't keep repeating them. And eventually I'm going to run out of mistakes to make. And so I should see my dreams and coming closer and closer to fruition. That's my hope anyway, and I'm going to do what I can to make that happen. But until next time, enjoy the weekend. I hope that you hit like, smash the like, don't just hit it, smash it with a sledgehammer. Subscribe to my channel. It's so pathetic. I think it has 3 subscribers. I could really use some help with that. I mean, at least give me a pity subscription, to make me feel good about myself. And yeah, you don't have to. I'm just kidding. But if you enjoy this sort of content, I'll keep it coming, and I enjoy it too. It's a bit therapeutic in a way. And please leave a comment. I'll respond, and we can have some good dialogue, and we can learn from each other. But enjoy your weekend. Until next time, great trading, everyone.